we have with us Professor Dimitrios Buhalis from Bournemouth University. Professor, I would like to ask you what we are doing this period.
Well, we discussed about the beginning of March, if you remember, and we said that we are going through uncharted waters, where the coronavirus crisis is expanding around the world. And 3 weeks ago, nobody could ever imagine the magnitude of the crisis and the difficulties that we're facing around the world. Never before we had so many countries closing their borders, so many airlines parking their aircraft, so many hotels closing around the world, and so many people desperately looking for some good news. And also, right now on the 29th of March, we've got more than 650,000 people who are infected by the coronavirus, and we've got more than 30,000 people that have died from the disease. So we're in a very, very difficult situation, and we need to make sure that everybody stays healthy and everybody stays strong to see us through the other end.
Can you give us some tips for the tourism destinations and tourism enterprises, what they can do?
I think for the time being, we need to stay safe and stay strong and stay home and save lives. So for the time being, we should not really talk about the tourism industry because there is no demand for the first part. And also, most of the people around the world, they try to survive. They are buying the essential groceries, they're buying medicine, and they're preparing to isolate and look after their families and their kids, and their older parents, and make sure that they survive that period. So I think that is the most important thing. For the time being, we really need to make sure that we follow the advice from its government and the World Health Organization, and also to ensure that we have social distancing and isolation, stay home. Having said that, the tourism industry has got facilities around the world. We've got facilities that we can help the health professionals to help us. So we can provide accommodation for people that are fighting their life in hospitals and in different health structures to support others. We can provide meals and food not only for them but also for their families, and we should demonstrate humanity and solidarity really with all these things that are happening on our side. I think that's critical, and many organizations have come out of their way to actually prepare meals for health professionals, to offer accommodation and to support these people. At the same time, we can use our facilities as health facilities. Many people will know the Excel Center in London, where the World Travel Market is happening. That has been converted to a hospital with 4,000 beds. We've got a lot of hospitals that they are currently empty and closed, and those can take some less serious cases of coronavirus or other diseases that can be treated in a hospital bedroom, in a hotel bedroom rather than a hospital bedroom. I think this is the first priority for the next month, 2 months, until we are to the next stage of where we're having.
This is happening mostly in Europe and now in the United States of America. But what about the rest of the world? What is your opinion about Asia?
I think it's a global kind of thing, and obviously it started from China, and China has followed a lot of those good practices, and now they're coming out of it slowly, and they start opening again parks and national heritage areas, and they start having some transportation connections, and they start doing things slowly after 4 months. And after 4 months of very severe measures. In other areas where we cannot have such severe measures, I think it's going to take longer to come back to normality. This is a global thing. We see that the most of the affected people right now are in the United States, and that's increasing rapidly. We see several countries like France, like Germany increasing really, really fast. We see Turkey increasing fast, and you should follow all the statistics that they are there, that they are evident on the Financial Times site and the George Washington University. We really need to. It's a global thing. Nobody is not affected. Most of the airlines have stopped flying, and most of the hotels have closed. So this is affecting everybody.
Are we prepared for the next day in tourism?
I think nobody could ever imagine that this nightmare is going to happen. And I think, there are business continuity plans and there's risk management and there are a lot of things that people are doing to prepare for a bad day. But this is not a bad day. This is a catastrophe beyond belief. Uh, and I say, not only economically, but there are 30,000 uh, citizens, 30,000 people who have died already and there'll be more and more victims of this. In the UK, the government announced that 20,000 dead people is an acceptable number of people who die from the coronavirus. I think from as far as the tourism organizations, what we need to do, because that's my area, I think we need to be smart and use measures of agility to understand what's happening and be on top of the information. I think we really need to look for reliable information and to the reliable sources of information that will provide us with the right information. Because a lot of people are talking right now. They're home, they're on social media, and they've got a verbal diarrhea, if you like, on social media talking about it. I think we need to identify who are the official sources, and I'm not necessarily talking about government sources, because some of the governments are not very honest with what's happening. We need to find the reliable sources that provide the appropriate information, the appropriate results. As far as tourism is concerned, most of the tourism organizations will need to develop a communication strategy and they need to demonstrate solidarity with their clientele and all the stakeholders. They should also demonstrate solidarity with their employees because a lot of the employees are laid off, unpaid leave, and they will be struggling for money and they'll be struggling to leave. What I said earlier about solidarity with the health professionals can also happen for employees of the tourism industry. Hotels can provide meals for their employees' families that they are not employed and they don't have money, because that may be at a much better. The supply chain of the hotels will be much better than individuals, and also the cost of providing meals may be much more beneficial than people cooking for themselves at home. So the first thing is really humanity, solidarity, and then resilience in terms of communicating sympathies with people who have been affected, explaining to people that we will be here tomorrow when the borders will open again, when the airlines are going to fly again, and when we have got hotels that they'll be open. And I think there's an opportunity also to engage with our customers by providing a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of happy days. For example, a chef may provide a demonstration of how to cook with your kids and make sure that you keep your kids entertained during this period, because a lot of families have been locked in around the world. Or they may provide, some Chinese DJs. They're providing parties and they're providing virtual discos for people to entertain themselves at home. Or you may provide some cultural heritage. I can see Acropolis at the background, Vicky, where you can provide some resources to people to make sure that they understand, they engage with the destination. Say, look, Athens is like that. We know that you cannot come in Athens, but probably in 3, 4, 5 months or in a year's time, you really want to come to Athens, and you'll come to Athens for that. Not in an insulting way, not in a promotional way, but look, we miss you, and this is what you do when you come back, and we'll be ready waiting for you. Please stay home. Please stay safe. That's the communication strategy. Idea Netherlands says, keep dreaming. The marketing Greece is talking about till then. The World Tourism Organization is talking about travel tomorrow. There are a lot of those messages that encourage people and say, look, for the time being, there's nothing we can do. It's not safe for anybody to travel. So stay at home and come back tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Professor. We will be in touch and you will give us your opinion in the near future.
Stay strong, be prepared, be smart. That's the critical thing. Be smart, understanding getting all the information, analyzing information in real time, and come back with strategies that they meet the needs of the destination, meet the needs of individual organizations. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.